Hey, Jojo, your mic's muted. I can't hear you.
I always mute the inside mic. I always do that. Guys, if y'all listening, welcome to the chat. But you're gonna hear some promos in a few minutes. It's no, I just was sending out invites and I hit the in button. I was just gonna let it play. Just let it play a little promos. Where the hell is my other thing at? Hold on here, people.
You're falling apart there, Joe.
Oh, it's been one of them kind of days for a birthday.
Yeah,
A real pain in the ass day,
look at
man. I
how
gotta tell
messy
you.
my hair is.
It was like plus my heater is like fritzy in the house, so we get using the floor heaters. And last night I think it was 14 degrees. It's not including the wind chill. Wind chill is probably around 4.
We were at -3 this morning.
Yeah, well, I was talking to Michelle. She said she was at -21.
Well, she's way up there in like Toronto or something.
But I mean, for any time you start, I mean, somebody was telling me it was 0 in Atlanta last night with the wind chill. I was like, which doesn't quite surprise me, but still, man, it's a bit cold for the South.
Yeah, well, Atlanta is up near the mountain, so they do get more occasional snow. But Savannah, I've been there. I lived there 13 years. It snowed twice. For me, where I'm from in Maryland, they were dusting. It's like an inch or less. But for the city of Savannah, it's like it's like a foot or two of snow. It completely just a dusting destroys the city. I mean, it blocks down everything.
So the last time New Orleans had this much snow was in 1895. It was 10 inches.
Wow.
So they're thinking it was between 10 and 12, maybe even 13 last night. We got my yard. So my porch had 9 inches on it. My front, where the drift was, had 18 inches. The side of my house, which is probably the true measurement, was 7 inches.
Yeah.
In the middle of my yard, I think was like 7.5, maybe 8. So we'll just say 8 inches. But still, that's good for here. I mean, that's it. I woke up at 4:30. It was snowing, so I'm going back to bed. I mean, it was like flickering. It's not something I'm watching this shit. I'm going back to bed. So I got back in bed, and then I got up around 9:30, 10. I walked outside, and it's starting to turn white. And it's steady snow. And I'm like, oh, well, look at this. It's just steady snowing, steady snowing. Man, come lunchtime, it's still steady snowing, steady. And the whole yard's starting to get white. But 2 o'clock, you couldn't see any more grass in the yard. You could see it on my side lot because I let it grow wild. And even it was smushed down a good bit. And then all of a sudden you started seeing the trees start to fill up with it. And I noticed I had a little drift on my porch that was about, the whole porch was covered with about right around 14. No, we'll say about 10 to 12 inches on my porch. My damn barbecue pit had at least a foot on top of it. And anything that was a pot or a bucket that was just sitting there had at least a foot of snow on top of it. Kind of looked like a little ice cream, like a snowball kind of cone, just kind of drooped over, was all rounded out. Looked like somebody had been out there making the damn things, man. I was like, look at this shit. I said, why do you? And every time I see this, I'm thinking, why do you Yankees live up north, man? It's insane. I mean, but it was funny. So since I started watching this, hardly any wrecks in the South. Oh man, Pittsburgh, 3 big, massive, or Pennsylvania, 3 big, massive pull-out wrecks.
It's weird how in Savannah there were like minor fender benders and stuff because people were just driving like they normally do on rain or regular weather that they have down there. But there weren't too many accidents. But you go to a big city like Atlanta or Pittsburgh, any city that has big snow, when they get a big snow like that, it's usually 3 or 4 large pile-ups on the highway. Usually, tractor trailer is usually the one that kicks it off. And then I don't understand why people, if you're in the area and you're used to that kind of driving snow, why do you always get into those accidents? Because they get complacent and careless, and they're like, "Oh, the snow's not going to bother me."
Well, so you're watching it. Well, I'm watching these people. So these they're on interstate, right? They're doing 65, 55, 65, 75. So, all right. So you see this guy, he hits this rig, makes it so that now they got like a V thing going. So the cars just start funneling in there, one after another, trying to avoid each other, but they're going too fast to slow down. Next thing you know, you got 20, 25 cars, and they're still smacking in each other because it's snowing so hard you can't see anything. And I'm thinking, oh man! And see, right there should be some kind of service. As soon as that happens, you should be able to hit something on your cell phone that alerts drivers on that interstate. Sends their cell phone off. There's been a crash.
Google Maps has a thing, and I'm driving to work and stuff. When I have it, I don't need to have it, but I like to turn it on so it tells me how what time I'll be at work. But it'll every once in a while it'll go, oh, there's a police on the side of the road. Is it still there? Is it not there? But I don't see how you can report it. I don't know how. I tried to report it once I was driving.
Oh yeah, there's a place in there. There's a place inside. I use so on my phone. Actually, I have 3 different apps on my phone. Wise app I use the most because it has the best police and road damage reports and stuff like that. They because you can actually see who's on the road with you too. Wise lets you see other members that are driving with you. So you'll see a car going by and it'll be one of the people who has that app. So
Wise, WYZE.
yeah, I think it's I have to look into it on the phone. I think it's
I use their doorbells. Their doorbells are really good. I
yeah,
like their cameras.
they got a real they got it's a real good system. I stumbled across it. Somebody showed it to me once. I think one of the kids did, and I was like, damn, because I was using my other favorite one, which wasn't Google, was the other one. I can't remember the damn name of it now, but it was really good. I still have it on one of my other phones. It was really good. It's Google. Google has issues with things like, so we're driving one night. What's that, Bruce? No, that's what we call it the chat. So we're driving one night. My wife and I, we're going out in the middle of nowhere. We're going to go out and this is a few years ago, guys. And so anyway, we're driving along, and Google says turn right, turn right. Google says turn left, turn left. All of a sudden we're on a gravel road, and that's not Google does take you on dirt road somewhere sometimes. Especially if it's going to cut off in between two places, they will do that from sometimes. So all of a sudden, I get the feeling I'm like in the middle of nowhere. The dirt road's getting narrower. It's like it's cutting through the middle of somebody's property. I'm like, oh no, we're not going there, man. Because you just got this, and it was deep woods, Alabama. I was thinking, nope. So we just turned around, and then when I got back to the highway and I reset it, it didn't take me. It took a different route. I was like, oh, see. So so we're in Violet, Louisiana, and hey, Dexter, and we in Violet, Louisiana. We're driving along, so it says turn here. We turn here. Man, we're in this dude's yard. This dude comes. It's like 3:00 in the morning. This dude comes out of his house or out of his yard out of nowhere. It's in the blackness, and he's running up behind my car. I'm zipping up, and he's up a big old hill. I'm like, Jesus Christ, about to get munched out and killed out in Violet, Louisiana. Probably use me for crab bait. It's just.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you, babe. I got you. So Google every now and then we were somewhere in Florida. It wanted to go take us. It kept trying to bring us through the middle of the military base. I rolled. So this is funny. This is 4:00 in the morning. I'm stoned out of my gourd. I'm driving along, and I've been driving since it's about a 6-hour drive, 7-hour drive. So we're cruising along. We hooked the right. It says turn right here. I turn right. What do I see? 2 guys standing there with M16s.
Oh shit!
I'm like, shit. And I mean, dude, as soon as I turned there, they were. I was like, oh shit. And I didn't even know what to think to myself. I'm thinking, oh shit, man. And so anyway, I said, what are you doing? I said, I was following Google. He started laughing. I was like, why? What's so funny? He said, you're not the only one. Apparently Google doesn't know where the hell it's going. And because I mean, I just hooked the turn, was cruising. I was just going to hit the gas because it said like 2 miles. And there they were standing in the road. I was like, holy shit. That ain't the best one. I was in, we were using, maps that you had to get online. You had to, before Google and all that shit, before we had maps on our phone.
Yeah,
MapQuest. Yeah, it was MapQuest. And I had MapQuest on my phone too. But it's, so we're cruising along and I got the instructions and I read them and Linda was telling me, and Linda's a really good navigator. So I get off the interstate, and guess where I'm at? I'm at the fucking Pentagon. I mean, I pull, not at the main gate. You know, Joe got to go pull at the side gate like he's up to some shit. Just shoo, and there's the Pentagon. I'm like, what? There was a couple of friends in the car with me too. It wasn't shit. I was doing a lecture down at, and we were in Gettysburg at the X conference. And we were just cruising through DC. And I was like, what? How in the fuck? All places to get off. They had no big sign. It didn't say Pentagon. I just. And there it is.
When you have foreign, particularly Washington, D.C. has a lot of foreign dignitaries, but you also have a lot of foreign visitors, tourists coming through. You don't really want to advertise for the tourists where you keep your number one major strategy point.
No, I can understand that. I mean,
you don't want people. And then, same thing with the CIA. The Langley office is right there off the Baltimore Washington Parkway, and it's a totally unassuming road. You don't think there's any kind of CIA installation back there, but if you make the wrong turn, boom, there you are, right in front of the Langley offices of the CIA. is it is what do they say? Not conspicuously marked.
Yeah, because they
As it
you
were.
know stay to bleep back is what they're telling you. I don't know. It's kind of crazy. It's and then like the one out here in Louisiana, you be cruising on, you're looking for the FBI or something. You pulling up, it's telling you go here, go there, and it's Homeland Security. And then all of a sudden you look and there's big FBI emblems to building. I'm like, what the? It's like sometimes I think they do things to unnecessarily confuse people, but I just got to kind of laugh at it. And
No, I think you're right. I think they do, particularly government forms. They do things to throw you a curveball, just to make sure you're paying attention when you fill these things out.
what's that, Jesse? No, I made 52 today. Yes.
How old are you? Happy birthday, dude.
Happy birthday!
I made 52 today. Sean made 49 today.
49. There you go. I love him, man.
We're going backwards, baby. Don't you know that's that word? When we hit a certain age, it goes the other way.
That's right. We are going back the other way. How's the snow treating you, brother? I was like, my jaw
fuck you,
dropped when I
Yankee.
saw the pictures, dude.
Oh man, Steve.
Did you see what I wrote on the song, Sean? I wrote, "Welcome to the club, buddy."
at least the boy they stayed home. So the only people you see now were like people with 4-wheelers and all, and they were pulling sleds behind him. One guy had his 4-wheel drive Jeep out there pulling a boat behind him. I mean, just a regular boat in the snow. It was enough snow that you could pull a boat easily. This is cruising along. Another guy's in a fan boat, just cruising down a highway, just singing around in circles in his fan boat. Yeah, really? Coon has to treat the snow differently, but when you looked at the quarter, I mean, it was cool. It was kind of cool and kind of weird seeing a quarter like that. And for anybody who ever fucking tells me global warming, to say this is for where I'm living right now, and I'm living literally 50 yards from the Gulf of Mexico, maybe 100.
No, the Gulf of America. Remember?
Oh, fuck the Gulf of America. It's Gulf of Mexico. Damn it.
No, America. Deal with the change. You have to learn to deal with the change.
I ain't dealing with the change. I don't even go for that metric system either. You see that shit? Fuck the change. What's that, Jimmy? No, actually, I like the idea of Gulf of America. I just giving Sean shit. It's
Well, I got something I got to tell you guys, you deep Southerners, about the 4-wheel drives. They do not make you immune to snow, nor do they.
Oh no! When I say 4-wheel drives, I don't mean like Jeeps.
No, I know what you mean. I know. I know ATVs. Yeah. I know what you mean. But even so, the four-wheel vehicles and ATVs, when you're on snow, you still have to be moderately cautious because you are not immune to slipping and sliding on the snow.
Oh yeah, they're not worried about that though, because they take them things in the clay.
All 4 slip, so it's worse.
Yeah. No, they're
kind of used to that. So some of the things they do with these things in the weekends is they go in these clay, I call them clay forms, and it's just clay everywhere. It's thick, it's hard. Man, they hit this shit, they just slide. It's like being on ice, man. It's just almost the same thing. You just so to get used to it. So it's a little easier for any of the guys who've done it. It's easier for them. But I always tell everybody the same thing down here. If you've never driven on ice, don't fucking start now.
Yep.
Okay. Don't start now. Don't practice on the city.
Unless you live in an area where you're going to get it regular and frequent. Most parents won't do this. My parents didn't do it. So when I got my license to drive in October, and this is 1980s, and even back then the 70s, and so further back, we always got much more snow than we do today down in Rockville, Maryland. So I got my driver's license, and then the end of the month, October, we got an unusual big hit, like 2 foot of snow. Oh no! What happened to Sean? Anyway, we got 2 foot of snow, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, I think he popped up. He'll be back.
I heard blue.
Anyway, so I was out away from the house when it started snowing, and then we got 2 foot of snow, and I was driving home. I'm like, you know what? My mom isn't going to teach me how to recover from a skid. So I'm going to fart around on the snow. And I started making my car, I was jerking the wheel, making it slide this way and that way. I got stuck once. I got myself unstuck. And it took me, normally a 10 or 15-minute drive, took me about 45 minutes to an hour. Mainly because I got stuck, but also because I wanted to, make the car malfunction as much as I could before I got home. So I could teach myself how to, if it malfunctions without me doing it, I could save myself from crashing or dying. So if you do get the chance to do that, it's much better in like a parking lot. There's nothing to hit but maybe a light pole. that's the only way you're going to get good at driving on snow, because it is completely unpredictable. And sometimes underneath there's what's called black ice. You'll see
Yeah.
snow on top, but underneath of that is a sheet of ice. And if you
Yep.
hit your brake and you melt through that snow, you hit that ice and then you skid another 100 feet. So
Yep.
it's a very dangerous situation altogether, very fluid and dangerous.
Yeah.
Do you
So
see
stay your
down
asses
there?
at home.
Do you see in Florida they got 7 inches of snow, man?
Yeah.
They got snow in Savannah, which I lived there 13 years. We got snow twice, and it was what we would call a dusting, Sean. Up here, a dusting, less than an inch or so. But it's enough
Florida
to
did.
cause enough havoc for those areas that they don't have the snow removal equipment.
Well, parts of Florida got from 5 to 9 inches. Louisiana got anywhere from, they were saying last night, anywhere from 12 to 16 inches. That's a lot of fucking snow for a city in New Orleans.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
is.
New Orleans is practically in the Gulf of Mexico, or sorry, Gulf of America. I will get it. Anyway, it's practically in the Gulf, so it's
But
it's
I
way
know in
farther south than
Alabama
that.
they got 8 inches.
Yeah.
Alabama.
Alabama, they got 8 inches on the beach. So that's the funny part. If you were in northern Alabama, you got like 2 feet. Yeah, it's Alabama's funny, and it rarely snows in southern Alabama, but it snows in northern Alabama all the time. They rent them chalets out through January through like March, just so you can sit up there and watch the snow. It's a beautiful place. And if you can't drive, they got the guards will come help you move you around, get your car around, and I'll get you out of the wherever you manage to get your ass stuck at. It's no, it's beautiful up there, people. But I tell us again, if you haven't driven on ice, don't start practicing, where you're going to damage your car, or damage somebody else's car.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, just don't go out.
Yeah,
Stay home.
If you've never driven on snow, don't go out. You just, unless you absolutely have to for an emergency or doctor appointments, what have you. Just take a pill of what they call fuck it all and watch TV.
They were showing experienced drivers last night, all around the country driving in snow, and they're good. But even they would fuck up from time to time. I mean,
Of course you are. I don't care. I've been driving
because you're only as good as the other guy, the best driver on the road with you. Doesn't matter how good you are.
right.
You don't worry about all these other fucking idiots.
Here's the sad thing about that, Joe. In Pittsburgh, we got hills, and I mean, we got hills, and you have cars parked on either side, and it's a up and down, one way up, one way down, and when they're going up a hill, and all of a sudden they get nervous and they stop their car on this ice or on the road with snow, we're done. We're done. Because they can't get the traction to go back up there again.
Yeah, 18-wheelers have the worst with that because of the weights they carry. They have to maintain a certain amount of RPMs or momentum to get up some of these icy hills, particularly like the hills through Kentucky, Ohio. Those are extremely. I mean, they're not like the things in San Francisco City. Those hills, they're not quite that bad, but they're bad.
I remember I was driving a brand new Corolla. I was in where was it? We were in Arkansas. We're driving up this mountain. It wasn't even snowy, just regular old road driving up. My fucking car got about 3/3 of the way up. And it's like, Daddy, you get out and push me out, motherfucker. I mean, it actually got down. It was doing about a mile, and I think I must be burning this bitch. But I'm thinking it's brand new, so it's still under warranty. But I mean, it is creepy to finally get to the top of the car. It took like 15 minutes to get. I'm like, what the fuck, car? And then we went down, and it's fine going down. I was like, oh yeah, we're going down. I'm good. Yeah, I'm like, screw this. I almost got, but where I live in Louisiana, it's all like this. So it's Gulf Coast is like that. If you're in the deep South, the bottom of the deep South, everything's flat.
Yeah,
all the way to
Georgia
Austin.
has no hills. Beautiful city. I love Georgia, but not a single.
Well, no, Atlanta got hills, but
Atlanta's got hills. Atlanta's in the foothills of the Appalachian.
Atlanta does this numbers, and they build the hotels on them like this. So this hotel's right here, this hotel's down here.
Yeah.
Oh, this and the restaurants in between. So when you walk around like for Dragon Con, it's up and down, up and down. I'll tell you one thing, Dragon Con will work your ass out.
Dragon Con is cool. Definitely. Cool.
I was learning. People the cheat is bring a little extra money with you. And the Uber people will pick you up anywhere. They'll do it by GPS, by your phone. So you can be standing on the side of the street and they'll come up and they'll have your picture because that's how that's how Uber and which Lyft does it. So you can just come up, they'll pick you up right there on the side, drop you off anywhere you want to be. And I'll pick you up again later on the side. You don't have to be in a hotel. You don't have to be anywhere. They just boop, 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 and you're gone. I was like, well, that's a convenience because when you're there, like,
but also in light of the Dragon Con itself, the convention is very well set up. So even if
it
you
is.
don't drive down there, you fly in,
Patch
you get
people do a great job.
everything you need is right there in the various different hotels in the shops in and around the area. You won't have to go. I think it's like a block and a half to the beer store to get like a 6-pack of beer. It's like 2 blocks to like a place where you can get bread and like grocery type things, like a little small convenience store. So it's a cool place. I love the people there. Always a good time.
Yeah. So I mean, what the 4 hotels in a convention center are all within
Isn't
like
it
2
it's 5
blocks of each other.
hotels now, isn't it?
I don't remember. I know it's 4. I know
Hotel.
they might have. I didn't ask when I talked with. I had
when I started going, it was just the 2 hotels.
So just last year I met Pat Henry twice now. John introduced me to him 2 years ago at not Dragon Con, but at the Gala event in California. This year,
oh, that's San Diego.
No.
San Diego.
Well, no. I met him in L.A. at the Gala event. He he owns Dragon Con now, and he's not. His family really does the work these days. He's kind of not retired, but we'll say semi-retired, and really nice guy. So we're sitting there with another friend of mine, Bill, and matter of fact, Bill's the guy who remember the show we did on, I don't know, we did a show a while back on guns, on Arthur's Quill, and on guns and ammunition and all. He was the guy who got the guest, a great guest, a lot of fun too. John had to quit about halfway through his show. John's like, okay, yeah, what are y'all planning on taking over the world? And I don't blame him. I mean, John's not into that kind of stuff, so I can understand that. So it's it is, but so we're sitting there chatting. Pat's telling me how everything works, and if you want to do this, go there, do this, just get hold of this person or that person.
Hey, Steve.
And they come out with tomato soup, and I'm not even a big fan of tomato soup. So we're at this little Italian restaurant next to the hotel where we stay. This stuff smelled fabulous. So I told the waitress, I said, "Come on, I need to get me a order." Like, he said, "Oh no, you can have mine." I'm like, "Pat, I don't want to eat your soup, man. Dude, come on, I don't want to eat your soup. I just order my own damn soup." He would not let me order my own soup. He said he'd eat my soup. I was like, okay. And I wanted to catch up with him this year, but I didn't get a chance to. I wanted to catch up with him at Dragon Con because he's a blast to talk to. He really is. They've got some interviews I did with him and Bill Forcade and a couple other people. Look, he doesn't have no problem saying what's on his mind. It's one of the things I like about him. Mary Lynn Katra, is that right? Okay. Like Katra, like you have in your head, kind of thing. Wherever I heard that, some sci-fi TV show somewhere. Yeah, Katra. What is that? It might even been Voyager. No, I don't know. Maybe not. Anyway, what do you got for us? Yes. No, actually, I made 22. Who told you I had 52 shit? Don't let the people look at me, baby. Whatever. It's
And don't forget, the show is going to be in the archives, and you did say 52 a little earlier.
Yeah, whatever. But anyway, I'm what's that? 100. I will bounce your ass out of my messenger and ban you for life, asshole. 102. Oh my god.
The standing.
You know what? You keep fucking around. I'll put Dexter on your ass.
120 years, and my girlfriend Diane swears she's going to achieve it. I'd be lucky if I can make it past however old my dad was, but that's what I'm shooting for.
Well, my dad went at 70. My mom went about 74. My great grandfather, on the other hand, lived to be 108 and drank and smoked and every damn day, cursed, slapped women on the ass. He was just something else. And he lived to be 108. Oh, he was
82, I think.
He came over. This would have been my grandfather on my mother's side. He came over from Germany and with about $2,000 in cash money. Now this was probably in the late 1800s, I would think. I'd have to go look to be sure, but it's a lot of money. That would be like $20-50 million today. I mean, that was a lot of money. And he bought 2,000 acres of land for $1 an acre in Homer, Louisiana. Didn't have it 2 years, and guess what they found on all of it? And they were growing soybean and trying to get their own crew boat company going. I mean, not soybean, sugarcane, making a pretty good living, trying to get their own crew boat. And they found oil. They
Oh,
found
nice.
black gold, and not just a little bit. They found a shitload. He is that guy. And you would never know. He pulled up. He lived in an old shotgun house. Looked like just fell out the swamp or some shit. Go inside. It was nice, but you would never know. You could see all my aunts and uncles. You'd never know all of them had millions of dollars in the bank. You would never know. You would just think they some old country people from the country, living the middle life and unbelievably stinking rich, man. It just cracked me up.
Here's a good question for you on your birthday. Thinking, is it a curse to live a long time or blessing? Personally, I guess it's depending on per person, but I would not be amiss to becoming immortal. Then some of the books, some of the Bibles, some of the different religious sects, sects, not sex, different religious viewpoints have the promise of immortality.
The
Wow.
hell? Sorry about that, Jay. I just hit some button.
But anyway, some of them have immortality as some of the rewards towards the end of life. But is it true? Will it happen? I don't know. But I would not be. I wouldn't mind it. I would not mind living until I'm exploded with the star explodes.
No, I mean it depends. I mean,
live like 50 billion years.
Thank you, Nish.
You can't go out any further in space, or you don't develop it. You don't develop space travel in time. But you've lived 50 billion years, and your sun's going to explode. What a way to go out! It'd be like 8 minutes you would see an explosion, and then 8 minutes later you're gone.
But see, you're assuming that we haven't got off world and live in another solar system.
Yeah. That would be. And even if I could get off world, it was 80. Had lived 80 billion years. Maybe you want to snuff it at some point, but
well, no, I mean, I don't know. I see that's the problem. When does it?
When does it become a liability? Yeah, where you
because so many things become transitory, like love, and just a lot of things that we think of as like, if you're going to live 100 million years or 1 billion years, it may not have the same effect. Are you going to be able to love somebody for 1 billion years?
Episode with the guy, I forget his name, but he was Abraham Lincoln, Methuselah, Da Vinci. He was all these different famous mathematicians and scientists and philosophers and artists and inventors all throughout history. It's the same method. He just reinvented himself every time. Faked his death here and there and there, and then Captain Kirk encounters him, where no humans have ever been. And he says the same thing that you're saying, is that he's had lost so many different lovers throughout the time that it's become a point where none of them would be worth. He's no longer willing to put his love into another human being because they don't last long enough. So he's making robots with emotions to stay immortal with him. So it's a weird. It's kind of like a living sex doll story, but this is Star Trek 1966, 67, 68. Mm-hmm. Very interesting concept.
Well, Lorianne, in what was that, in Babylon 5, talks about it, about, his race, and finally that, and that's something else he talked about too. Not only being immortal, but even immortals die. And he was talking about how he was down to either the last or one of the very few of the last. None of them had even seen each other in 1 billion years or more. I mean, that's
a good example for the artist might be the elves of the Tolkien series. Most of them are very long lived, thousands, 2,000 years, but the elves, the high elves, like Elrond is, are immortal. They, as long as their star remains alive, they cannot die of any natural cause. That is, like old age or disease or what have you. But they can be killed through combat and mortal wounds of that nature. So I mean, having that would be just cool, because you could still at some point be obliterated. But
yeah, it's an interesting concept, and it's something that we're working on. I just don't know. Can you stay good for that long? Will you go dark side? There's a lot of questions to be answered here. Altered Carbon deals with this.
But I don't think you would. I mean, why would you all of a sudden, do a 180 flip?
Because it's not all of a sudden. It's over a process of 3, 4, 5. Like an Altered Carbon, it's a process. It took 3, 4, 500 years before they got to where they were. It's just you can. So you're a billionaire. You're eternal. You're gonna run out of things to do.
I think if you have space travel,
Space travel will help because you can go
probably
to new
won't run
worlds.
out of shit to do. But I don't think. I think there's a lot of diversity in the universe, but I think a lot of it's going to be very, very similar as far as how life forms develop and evolve through centuries and millennia. But I think there would be ultimately you'd never ever be able to see it all, no matter how immortal you are. I mean, let's say you were so immortal that you can't even be killed, like a bullet
But
won't
do
kill
you
you.
necessarily need to see it all if you
But
find that a
there's
lot of
so
it's just
much
the
of the
same old
universe.
shit?
Would you be able to see all of it?
Mhm. If you were immortal, you could.
No, because you would go to a place and see everything there, and then you would leave that place and go to another place and start seeing what's going on there. And while you're looking at that place, there's new stuff happening in the place you just came
Well,
from.
no, you could
And then
live
there's
long
other
enough that the
stuff going on.
universe is, but you could live long enough that the universe starts to die and it's receding in on itself.
Oh, maybe, yeah. Well, we don't know. We don't know that that's a full.
Yeah,
That's
we don't
just
even know if that's going to happen. That
yeah.
is just a theory, but it's a pretty good theory, though. I mean, who knows?
It's the working theory. So, and it's probably the closest thing to being correct as we can do for our limited physics knowledge and what have you.
I was thinking the other day. For me, I guess it's more. Can you stay on the light side for a long period of time? I mean, after you've witnessed millions of people dying and
I think that's
hundreds of
kind of what they were trying to do with the whole pre and post Star Wars trilogies that came out. Um, Frankly, we were talking about this at work today. I feel like J.J. Abrams ruined the franchise, and I'm praying and hoping that Disney can revitalize it. And not I don't hope they revamp it and start over. I hope they just breathe some life into it, get the CPR going. But uh, you got two universes out there that are quite possible, and I think that's what I, I think you probably would get bored. I think that life is going to be so similar throughout the galaxy, just not only the way it develops and evolves throughout the millennia again, but I'll bet you that all the stuff that we have here, the aliens have already done that. They did it, a million years ago, a billion years ago, but they had TV and laptops and streaming things like this, and they've probably evolved beyond that to whatever they're into now. So I, I think there would be just too much sameness across the universe. You get what I'm saying by that? I mean,
Well, I know. I kind of understand what you're saying. It's just,
too generic all
I guess,
across.
maybe we would have to look at maybe far out universes might be different. I mean, far out galaxies might be different, or we'll have to be looking at the multiverse. At least we know the multiverse may have some differences here and there. But I do agree. I think even the multiverse, the first 100 million, are probably so close to ours with just differences like hair colors and skin colors and eye colors and
Instead of
freckles
pointing
and just
left, I went
yeah,
right. Or
just yeah, just little things that.
lifeguard, I became a police explorer or something. Who knows? Yeah.
And I think those will probably even be further out because those are big changes. I'm just talking about little changes like you might part your hair on the right instead of left or down the middle. You may have green eyes, blue eyes, yellow eyes, orange eyes, whatever.
Left-handed
It,
instead
it,
of right-handed.
yeah, just little subtle things like that. There's probably a shitload of galaxies. I mean, universes like that. And then finally, you'll get out into the ones where they start getting different, where you're actually different. You're doing different things. Maybe you're the guy who's out there yapping heads off or something. And that's the other thing. What happens if you run into yourself doing that? What are you going to do? Say, hey, this is your universe. Go ahead and lop some heads off. Or are you just going to lop his head off? I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, oh man,
That's
the
also
multiverse is
also
scary.
the classic villain screw up is whenever they get their nemesis, they're the good guy, and they have him tied up and shackled or whatnot, and they say, "This is what I'm going to do to you, Batman or Superman or whatever,"
Yeah.
and they never get the chance to because while they're explaining how they're going to kill the superhero, the superhero's sidekick comes in through the side door and beats the living snot out of the dude, and the story's over. So.
That kind of stuff is always crap. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean that's the classic villain blunder. I mean, it's like don't just don't just tell me what you're gonna do.
What's
Do
that,
it. You know?
Fred?
That's what like in Austin Powers, the bad guy's son keeps saying, don't tell him you're gonna shoot him. Just shoot him. Give me a gun. I'll do it.
Okay, let's see. Oh, what the hell happened to Sean? I'll have to text him and see.
He must have. Let me see. He may have lost it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, what's that, Randy? What, tonight? No, we're going to talk a little bit about Trump, and his executive orders. Well, one of his executive orders was to send Jay to Israel.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, something about Hamas. Hamas said they wanted somebody who could cook or something, American food. I said, well, take Jay.
I do know how to cook.
What was that? No, really, Hamas is going to do what Hamas wants to do for their own benefit. But if they're smart, and I want to iterate this, if they're smart, they will go along with the plan and not irritate Trump. Trump don't want to get in the war, but Trump's the kind of person who he may not start the war, but he's going to finish the war.
Yeah, he's kind of a Reagan-esque kind of. He's every couple of decades they repeat themselves, and he's this decade's Reagan. I think people are more afraid of him because not only does he say what he'll do, he'll go ahead and do it.
Yes, he will too. It's one of the things I like about Trump. He'll do what he's going to say he's going to do. Francisco, where are you from? I keep forgetting to ask you where you're from. Where are you from? Downey Street. Where the hell's Downey Street?
So we're talking Trump's executive orders. The guy who wrote our theme song, Dave, he seems to think that Trump has already done some dictatorial things. I don't know what they are. He says I don't see them. But going back to Hitler, what he did in order to try to, particularly to gain more control over his country, was he went after a big gun grab. I mean, he made sure that nobody was able to get guns. In order to get a gun, you had to get this kind of permit. In order to get that permit, you had to have a gun. In order to get the gun, you had to have another permit. So it was like this roundabout loophole of laws that if you didn't, you couldn't do it. It was like illegal. It was an illegal loophole that was legal. I don't know how to figure it out, but or legal, how it's legally thought of. But that's how he did it. And then by doing that, all the people who had guns eventually had to turn them in because they didn't have the permit to get the gun, but they already had the gun and they needed another permit to get the ammo. And it was just this huge backlash. I don't see Trump doing anything like that. And if he does, when I have guns, come and get them, brother. You're not going to get them.
I have guns too, people. You're
not getting them for free. They're either going to be shooting back at you, or you're going to give me their full value. There's just no way I'm giving away. I
don't want full value. I want inconvenience. I want 5 times the value.
Well, that's even better.
I mean, you're putting my life at jeopardy here. I mean,
yeah. I mean, it's the same as saying that they want my hammer. Where's my hammer? It's in this room somewhere, or it was. Anyway, I have my regular Stanley hammer. I love it. It's a fiberglass body, nice big 16 or 20 ounce head on it, and it can be used as a weapon, but it's a tool, and it's also solid metal. My guns are tools. I'm not giving them away.
Hold on, let me make sure that's right. Well, you can't really. I mean, I don't really think that's going to happen anyway. So I'm not going to.
I don't either. I mean, I don't think he's that stupid. I think he actually himself does own guns. He may not.
Right. So what always cracks me up.
Once in a while, or bird
hunting. Yeah, but what always cracks me up is people like him don't have to own guns because he has security that owns guns.
And B, most guys like him go to big country clubs that have skeet shooting, and you can rent a gun there from the house and go out and shoot skeet, or go bird hunting in some places. There's fields all up and down here in Pennsylvania that you can go to the guys that own the field, pay them like $200 or $300, and they'll point you into a direction, and that's where you go and shoot. You get $120. You shoot like 12 birds, and you come back in the afternoon. Super fun. Haven't done.
Sorry about that. Hit the wrong button.
Yep.
Hey, Lee, how you doing?
Oh, yeah.
Spirit. years.
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
Whose
Oh,
birthday?
okay.
His
Jay's.
birthday. No,
Whose birthday?
that guy.
That guy.
You finally turned 25, huh?
Turned
Turn that around.
well, yes, well, yeah, that's why I turned that around. What's that, Denise? I'm gonna lie about my birthday till I die. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
The sad part is, though, the really sad part is, it is on my profiles.
What
Yeah.
What is your age?
My real birthday is actually on my profile. So you have to go look. I don't know. It's what was that? No, just because women do it all the time, so guys can do it now too. It's a new thing.
So my last birthday was the 28th. Was the 28th anniversary of my 29th birthday. So.
Oh, do I think? That's a good question. Let me post this up where the world can see it. Hold on, U.S. Army.
Oh, good.
What do you think,
I
Jay?
don't think he's going to have to, but I think he will threaten to. And at that point, I think Putin better, pull his shit back and mind that he's going to get his ass whooped if he doesn't.
Wait, you know what I heard today was that he was going to start off with sanctions and some other stuff, some I forgot what
his other favorite word, tariff.
Terrorists and a few other things besides that. And I think that's where he wants to go first. Yeah. Then after that, I think he's going to go whatever he needs. As far as putting troops anywhere,
you can't just come out with guns blazing. That's just stupid.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, going out with troops anywhere is just dangerous. I mean, it's just dangerous. One, because if we start killing Russians, that means Russians are going to start killing Americans, and then America's going to get all upset with themselves and not know what to do with themselves. What's that, Dean? Where are you from? New York? Hey, what's up in New York? You're in North Shithole, New York? Never heard of it. Oh, if Mike was here, he would know what you're talking about. Well, next time I see him, I'll ask him if he knows where Shithole, New York is. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Sean was with us a little while ago, but he disappeared. I think he got probed.
He has a medical procedure tomorrow, so he
needs to get rested.
So yeah, he's going to get some sleep, and we'll catch him and get some great news from him on Friday.
Yeah. Frankie G, what do you mean? Where are you these days, Frank? You still in Texas? You still in Austin, you traitor bastard living in Austin? Oh, man, Austin. I'm going to give it a break because Elon's there now, but, Austin's like, it's liberal heaven. What do you mean my friends are in Austin? Who? Oh, yes, they are actually in Austin. They just opened a branch there. They surely have.
Branch of what?
Scientology.
Huh?
So I used to live right next door to the Church of Scientology in East Hollywood.
Mm-mm.
Well, not right next door, but like 2 doors down.
So did you see that big white cross they got on top of that church?
Yeah, I mean, I saw, okay, so I think what it was that I lived next to was like the residential area where all the like weird
cool kids lived.
Well, they all dressed exactly the same. They all wore blue polo shirts and black pants, and they would walk around with tablets, and they were just staring at their tablets the whole time. Like,
they got stuff together. I will say this for them. The people I met at the church were very, 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 they like to stay busy. Matter of fact, every Scientologist I've met so far likes to stay very, very busy. It must be a prerequisite to be a part of that organization because
all races, all ethnicities, all, gender doesn't matter. It was just every type of person you could think of.
Yeah, so far I haven't seen them really be too prejudiced or anything along those lines. It's I mean, I've heard all kind of nasty rumors about them over the years.
What I've heard is that you have to have a certain amount of money or income.
And you know what? I had heard that too, but after meeting some of them, I know that is not true.
Because I know I share with you guys. Check this out. We're talking a little bit about religious factors and such. This is the Mormon Tabernacle in Silver Spring, Maryland. And you can see, this is about the view you see of it from the highway when you drive on Washington, D.C.'s. Well, actually, this is Rockville, Bethesda. The Beltway, 495. If you're driving on 495 going in towards Rockville and Bethesda, you will see this church, Mormon Tabernacle. And let me go over to the page there so I can point out this little dude right here. So they got this guy, see him? From this angle, you can't tell, but he's a golden.
Is that the temple or is that the tabernacle?
That's the tabernacle in Maryland. There's some other views of it, but
because that looks like the temple to me. It looks like
called,
one of their mini temples.
It's the official name is the Mormon Tabernacle, and this guy at the top of that middle spire is a statue. He's got one of those long trumpets, and they're of the thought and belief that when Armageddon begins, that golden gentleman will come to life and blare his trumpet and calling down the troops of heaven down to earth to begin Armageddon. But I thought that might share that with you because I thought that's the need. No, there aren't. I don't think there are any other religions that have a,
Jay?
I guess, an idol that will come to life and destroy the world.
Jay?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I was baptized Mormon.
Were you?
Yeah, that's not quite the belief. But I'm not going to argue with that. They believe that they want to, trumpet their angels down.
Well, you know what? On when whoever was building the spaceship to go into deep space to go to the new world, they had that what Jay was the person on top there on the ship was on a golden stake, and it was a big golden baby with a big golden trumpet.
There's so much about that religion I do not understand at all. Like I don't.
That's every religion. That's every religion.
Trust me. When I was in college, I took a class, and I was in arts college. I wasn't in a physics, big science class, graded school or a big sports school. I was in an art school, and I took a class called World Religions, and I was shocked how many the big five religions right now, how close they are, and how many stories they have in common. Names are changed; they're more ethnic towards that group's ethnicity, but other than that, the stories are identical. The most shocking story I found was it's actually a Grecian story, a Greek story that goes through Greek and Roman. Is the story of Apollo and his 7 daughters, and the story goes that Zeus is coming after Apollo's 7 children, and Apollo helps them in several different ways, and finally, when Zeus gets too close, Apollo takes his 7 daughters and he puts them up into the heavens as the Pleiades star cluster. Well, the American Indians, half a planet away from the Romans, disconnected by at least 1,000 different years, have the exact same identical story, but the people's names are changed and what their ranks are. So it's in the Native American stories, it's usually the great bear chief. His 7 daughters are being chased by the great bear god or something like that. And when the god gets too close, the great bear chief raises the earth and creates Devil's Tower to bring his daughters away from the bear. And then when the bear gets again too close, he whisks them away into the stars and they become the Pleiades. So it's impossible that these stories are invented 7 or 8 different times by several different cultures across the planet who allegedly don't have ties. So either all races have been very closely related for millennia, or the entire planet witnessed all of these stories. One or the other must be true.
I think that there's one universal story, and all these other nationalities and regions of the world have adapted it because they all have different languages and different time zones that create different microclimates, but they all have their own specific way of interpreting the same story.
That is the other problem. Especially now, since we don't, the story of Babylon, all of the races of man were trying to build a tower to heaven, a tower to get to God. And God saw them doing that and destroyed them, and it destroyed the tower, and then made all the languages separate. So that's a perfect biblical example of how hard it is going to be to have one world unity, whether it's one world government and
I will rule you people.
We're not to the point where we're going to be tolerant, 100% tolerant.
Bow to the great Jojo Man's feet.
That's the big problem with us. We suck.
Yes. Bow to the Jojo Man or die. Haha, whichever way you want it, people.
Ultimate power corrupts. No, wait. It's
All-
power corrupts.
absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Yeah, power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So let's see. Well, we got a list of names about religions. Let's see. These are got UFOs in them or something. The Seekers, Brotherhood of the Seven. It says defunct, 1953. The Arthritis Society. I'm
What-
sure that's not how you say that. but-
Arthritis. Yeah, that's how Sanford said it.
What U.S.
Arthritis is coming in.
what U.S. Army vet just said.
This is
What?
but okay.
I can't see it. I'm not on that screen.
We talked about this,
He
and
said,
I'm
"What
100%.
do you all think about the Mormonism being influenced by the human type aliens?" Because
That's what we're talking about. Yeah.
100%. Absolutely. I've said it for centuries. The reason we have religion and kingliness is from the alien creatures, whether they're human types or reptilian types. They gave us the idea of kingship and the idea of religion to control the rest of the population while the aliens were off doing other alien stuff and whatever they do.
That was created by George King. Okay, your next one is Ashtar Galactic Command. It doesn't say how many people are in it. It just says Thelma B. Terrell in 1977. I guess she created Chin To, 50,000. Hung Min Ching, 1993. He created. So these are the people who created it. All right. Christ Brotherhood. So the Christ Brotherhood talks about aliens somewhere in it. Well, that's cool. Wallace C. Halsey, 1956. Cosmic Circle of Fellowship. William R. Ferguson. See that like these don't have any numbers next to them. How many people they got? The Chin To's got 50,000. Fiat Lux. Urella, 1980. Has 3,000 members though. Oh, this is Billy Myers people. Oh yeah. Let's see what we got here. I'm not seeing how many people they got into it. It says it was created in 1970s.
Yeah,
Freely intersessment. There's no way, man. This is like 5 words long and it's ridiculous. And every one of them is like 20.
It's in his language. What was he? Swiss, Dutch? I don't remember. But he had some of the most spectacular, legitimate, valid UFO photos ever until he started faking them towards the end.
Yeah, it was just dumb on his part. Yeah. Ground Crew Project Sheldon Needle, 1980. Heaven's Gate defunct.
Oh yeah, well didn't they drink a certain kind of Kool-Aid?
I bet you they are defunct and fucking shit. Makes me laugh.
Didn't they?
They committed suicide in furtherance of being rescued by a
Yes.
freaking comet.
I'm actually surprised this is on the list. Okay, I'm Activity. Guy Bullard, 1930s. Industrial Church of New World Confronter. Alan Michael, 1973. The Marked Age. It actually just says Marked Age. Created by these 3 gentlemen. Charles Boyd, Ginsell, and Pauline Sharp, 1962. Nation of Islam, 50,000. What Nation of Islam is 50,000? Last I heard, Nation of Islam was like freaking 1 billion.
Yeah,
Siri.
I do believe there is a
Where's
larger
Siri
number than we even think of that people are of that same.
Hey,
mentality.
Siri. Siri, where you at? Wake up. Hey, Siri.
Yes, Joe.
Well, that's Joe. Apparently, Siri's on crack, man.
What's the question you want to ask her? I can ask Google.
I just want to ask how many people in Nation of Islam have as a religion.
Hey, Google, how much does the religion of Islam have?
Siri, you're a bitch. Oh, now she wants to answer.
I don't understand.
Hey, Google, what is the population of the Islamic religion?
1.9 billion followers.
1.9
According to
billion.
Wikipedia, with an estimated population of almost 1.9 billion followers as of 2020 year estimation, Muslims comprise around 25% of the world's total population.
Yes, and when they started, they were nothing. So here it is. This was so they started with 50,000 people.
Hey, Google, quiet.
50,000 people. Wallace Ford Mohammed, 1930. Dude, I think you backwards. I think you just tried to tack something on top of it. I mean, I don't even know what this is supposed to be, so we're just going to let it go. We're just gonna let it go. NIFA, defunct, was in 2001. It was created. New Nation, defunct. Dwight York, 1970. Order of the Solar Temple. Sounds interesting. Oh, nope, defunct. Hey, what you fuck defunct? Oh, here we go. Now this one, Rayleighism. We pin
Really? What?
Right, I said it wrong. It's as close as I'm going to get it now that I said it like that. But realism, whatever it is, we infiltrated them. Matter of fact, the guy who did it has passed away now, Jason Wilson. Raelians or whatever they call themselves.
Oh, Ray. Yeah, I know you. Ray aliens.
Yeah. Rial's the one that started them. He's
They're
the one trying to buy the temple in Israel.
Looney bins. They're crazy.
They're 90,000 strong. Well, they had 90,000. I don't know what they are now.
That's the problem.
Hey Siri, how many Raelians are alive today?
No extraterrestrial life has yet been scientifically.
Did you hear me ask the bitch about extraterrestrial life?
I can barely hear what she said.
She's on crack. She started telling me no extraterrestrial life has been done yet today. Now, I guess the Raelians are
like
tied to extraterrestrial. Alexa.
Hey Google,
how
many extraterrestrial species are on planet Earth?
Sorry, I don't understand.
Google says fuck off. That's what Google said. Hey Siri, how many members are in the Raelian church today?
Okay, I found this on the web for how many members are in the Raelian church today. Check it out.
Calm down, girl, down.
Okay, we got Yahoo, Thule is. Look at that.
I closed out of the other one because my phone started to overheat.
Oh,
let's stop be blowing up no phones now. I don't know what you've been told. Oh, I can't sing that here. I don't know. They're going to tell me. I guess they don't want us to know. Yes, well, we know they started with 90,000. But anyway, real quick story. Jason infiltrated these guys, right? So, we back in the day, we were into everything. We still are, really. But so we had our guys infiltrate, not just this religion, but other UFO religions, just to see what they were. So he goes in, meets some people. They invite him somewhere else. He gets there. It's a sex cult. The whole thing was a sex cult. Still are, unless I heard they still were.
That's how they get their membership. Is you have to have a lure. It's either going to be drugs, alcohol, or sex, or all of that to get your membership up. And then once they get you good and high, and I still don't understand how. I mean, the cult mentality works. I don't know if it will work on me. I hope it doesn't. But then
friends of mine told me back in
several other people to follow the same idea, like the Heaven's Gate people. I was going to ask before we went further on, how do you get however many people to commit suicide in the furtherance of being rescued by a comet? I mean,
you'd be surprised. It's easier. It's easier than you think. So my stepson used to give me shit all the time.
Yeah,
he used to tell me all the time he wanted to be Moses because he said he wanted me to. He said you just need to start a cult. We'd be rich. Because there were so many people who just wanted to follow and do whatever we asked them to do. I mean, you'll see when we get the organization back up to full run speed, you'll see how weird it gets. People they want to be part of something. And people whatever it takes to be part of it. That's true.
People want to be told what to believe too. Like they want to have, like, I don't know, there's so many more followers than there are leaders.
And that's very true.
But you're right, but there are also some extreme religious cults out there. I mean, there are churches in Georgia where they take rattlesnakes, not little baby snakes, full size, like 6 foot long rattlesnakes, and they dance around with the snake, and they have the head of the snake, right in their face as they're dancing, and some of them get bitten on the face and the hand and the arms, and then they die in church. And then the whole church goes, I can't believe they died. Well, why not, you idiot? They were dancing with a deadly animal. It's the nuttiest thing I've ever heard of.
Yes, most of the preachers, though, start at a young age, so they get kind of immune to the poison, but it is dangerous. I don't know why anybody does it. It's fucking stupid is what it is.
It's insane. It's nuts.
But so where was I on my list? I lost my list. Damn it! Where'd I go? There it is. Let's see, the Raelians. So we already said them. Let's see. The renal culture. I'm not even sure if I want to go there.
The kidney people?
Let's see.
What the hell is that?
So, oh wait, I didn't know we could do this. Hold on, we're gonna have to go back now. So this is a Brazilian group, derived from the Umbanda, founded in the mid 1930s in Rio de Janeiro. Well, this sounds like this might be a fun group.
Rio de Janeiro is a pretty fun place, I hear.
I'm thinking this one. See, the Raelians, also known as.
Are they like Amazonian tribal?
Well, I don't know. Back then, they probably were. It's just now, I don't know.
But Brazil's not far. She's got a good point. Brazil's not far from the Amazon. We could find a place and do some ayahuasca.
Yeah. So, Sanctuary of Thought was one of the well-known 1950s UFOs or alien contactee individuals who claimed to have spoken with other inhabited planets.
Okay, did you guys see the clip? There was a clip that I saw about it was a podcast. I can't remember who was hosting it, but they had on their as a guest two deep within the Amazon forest, two tribal members that only spoke their native, language, and they had a translator with them, and they were shown a picture of a quintessential like gray alien, and they're like, have you guys ever seen anything like this before? And they're like, oh yeah, those are they appear out of nowhere, but they live under the ground, and they had a name for them. They recognized it right off the bat. They're like, oh yeah, that's
that kind of stuff never surprises me, because people, especially when you get to the peoples who haven't been tainted.
I want to see if I can find it.
So what is this next one? Oh, this next one is Scientology. We all know, which was created by L. Ron Hubbard.
L. Ron Hubbard.
It didn't say what date. I think it was like 84, 86, though.
I think it was the 70s, actually, because the commercials for it were strong in the 80s.
Might have been.
I think the church started in 75, 76. I'll look it up. Let me see what I can find.
It would have to have been after Dianetics, which what was that, 1952 or something? No, John would know, I guess. John right at the bat, he'd be like, what do you mean? No, we're just going through these. These are considered.
I'm going to send one of you guys. Which one do you want me to send it to? I'm going to send you a link.
Yeah, send it to Uncle Hay, because I ain't got nothing open but StreamYard.
Okay.
It was 1953.
No, not on the post. I'm gonna copy the link. All right, not to you, Joe. Send it to Jay.
Send it to Uncle Jay. Yeah.
All right, I sent it.
You got it.
Yeah, they have a name for it. It was like they're well acquainted with these beings.
It's trying to run while I'm trying to get everything set up. All right, here we go. Amazon tribe recognizes great. That's so cool. How did you find this?
It was just a clip that I saw. I frequent a few different UFO / alien / non-human intelligent, like NHI and the unexplained subreddits on Reddit, and this came across on one of them.
That's cool. All right, here we go. There it is.
Essa palavra você nunca ouviu falar, alienígena. Alienígena, não. Isso chama-se...
Here, I'll send you a shorter clip.
The consciousness side of this, to me, is also represented in meditation.
Right there.
Mancunabu. Mancunabu é que mora debaixo da terra.
Eu falei, esse aí.
Que se virou
long ago, And he was a straight tribesman, like he was in the Amazon basin. They didn't have a connection to modern culture. And these podcasters had basically found these guys and got them on for an interview. And they brought up the question of aliens. And they had no concept of what that really meant. They didn't understand what alien was. What do you mean, extraterrestrial? I'm not sure. They showed them a picture of a gray. And the tribesmen went, oh, that's Makanwabu. Say again?
Alienígena não tem.
Como?
Alienígena.
Ela diz? O que é?
Nunca, essa palavra você nunca ouviu falar?
So what part of the world are they in?
Não. Isso chama-se
The Amazon.
Mayushibu.
Isso aqui?
Sim.
Mancunawabu.
Mancunawabu.
Sério?
Mancunawabu. Mancunawabu é um que mora debaixo da terra.
É, eu falei, esse aí.
Que se virou formiga hoje, que nós chamamos Una, que é uma formiga grande, chama-se Mancunawabu.
The ant people.
Que essa formiga também é muito perigoso, né, Buina?
They
Se
must
a
be
pessoa
Hopi.
ficar mexendo
Or
com
similar
ela
to it.
demais, ela leva o espírito da pessoa para debaixo da terra também. Para
Caramba.
voltar tem que ser um pajé bem bom.
São seres que pode aparecer em luz divina, com a luz do Nishipan. São seres que a gente pode ter o contato, que moram debaixo da terra.
Yeah, Makanwabu. It's an ant.
Isn't that
Wow.
interesting?
It's very very Hopi like. The Hopi has spoken about the ant people that they've encountered coming. In some of the stories, it's like they pop out of the ground, kind of the way dwarves were described in Tolkien.
Wow.
But the ant people came out and had wars with red-headed giants, creatures that were like 15, 20 foot tall.
Like dragons?
No, human beings, like giant human
Oh.
beings, like humans that were like 19, 20, 30 feet tall, and sometimes double rows of teeth. And I don't know if they had two sets of arms and whatnot, but there are legends of two-headed giants. And what is the one they call it? It's like the 100-eyed, 100-handed, 100-footed one. He's got 100 eyes and 100 hands and 100 feet. No, what creature has 100 hands and feet, except for like millipedes and the thing? But yeah, very, very interesting concept.
Well, I think it's interesting that there's tribes out there that have had no modern technology, access to any like modern society kind of stuff, and they talk about it like it's oh, it's no big deal. That's it's like a common theme. It's a common conversation that they have. It's like well known in their community.
Yeah, it's not a secret. It's not touchy. And Nishipan,
Right.
the tribal guy said the Nishipan word is basically like the spaceships. It's UFO in their language. Nishipan is UFO in their language.
Meanwhile, over here, we're all trying to figure out what the difference is. We're still trying to figure out what the difference is between an airplane and a drone and a plasma orb, and nobody wants to spill the beans about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems that whatever the drone attack was, it probably was an information gathering session for somebody, which could be sinister, or it could be, maybe it was the military testing themselves, saying, "Oh, look, we just don't have enough response time. If this were to happen for real, our Air Force wouldn't respond quick enough to, save the planet."
What about, have you guys seen the video that was released of the supposed Air Force UFO retrieval group that took footage of an egg-shaped UFO? It was like night vision. It was like very green because it was night vision.
Oh,
and
yeah, probably, yeah.
people have been trying to figure out if that was real or if it, if it's been debunked or whatever. But supposedly it's real. I've been seeing a lot of interesting pictures of different types of spacecraft that are being captured on people's cell phone cameras, just in all parts of the world, like different, like things that are not drones. Very, very, very not
very much not drones.
And I think maybe that's because we'd had asked the question in other shows about UAP. Why do they change it from UFO to UAP? And I think maybe now we know because of this drone thing, UAP does it hits a broader range of things in the sky than, laser focusing on UFO being an alien technology. So maybe that's really why the government wanted to do that, so it doesn't seem to focus on alien technologies as much. But the fact is that there are things in our sky that are unknown that go about their business in our skies, in our airspace, through our military areas, unimpeded, and we can't even stop them or catch up to them. Seems to be, to me, something of what I would call a very serious security question.
What about the term that they use, non-human intelligence, or non-human origin? What would that imply?
It's the same thing as off-world intelligence. It's another species that's not from this planet.
Could it imply something that...
It could also imply mechanical intelligence, yes, or artificial intelligence, but also that not having originated here, but having originated somewhere else and then coming here. In both instances,
not of Earth.
Not of earthly origins is 100%. Whether it's an intelligence of mechanical or artificial, or whether it's an intelligence of natural or biological, they're not from, their origin is not from Earth. Period.
So when are we going to find out what it is and why it's happening? When are we actually going to get some real meat and potatoes?
When the aliens decide it's time. I mean, that's the only thing we have, is we don't have a timeline. Some people say it might be 2030, but I've been researching this since I was 11 years old, 1970s or so, 1972, 73, when I first came across Eric Daniken's book, and then a few years later I started reading it, and I've asked the same question for the last 40 some years. When are we going to find out? We may not find out in my lifetime. We could all die tomorrow of a meteor strike and never find out.
Well, I mean, do we need to find out? I mean, what is it we're looking for?
Well, in the security aspect of things, it's just having an intelligence, blazing through your planet, unimpeded, unstoppable.
Yeah, but don't you think?
But it doesn't seem they've done any harm. But do we know for sure that they haven't?
But don't you think it's one of the driving forces to get us into deep space? It sure is one of Elon Musk's driving forces.
It helps.
Hey, Michael, it seems to be other people's driving forces.
I know it's Bigelow's driving force.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's Bezos' driving force too. So the thing of it is if we find out the truth, will we still want to go to space?
Didn't Bigelow send his employees with weapons because he believes that they need them, that there's threats that they need to defend themselves against out there?
I don't know. I know they wouldn't have been allowed on the International Space Station though. So
how do your aliens fare against the 44 Magnum, man? Can they catch that?
No.
Can they catch it or they eat it?
The gray ghost
from malfunctioning on you, they would die as quickly and easily as we would. However,
the gray would just catch it with his teeth and spit it back at you.
How about a katana? You're you catch him off guard, right? Here comes the alien. You jump out from behind a tree. Ha ha ha! You know what I mean? The alien's
if you were able to stop them from mentally disabling you with their telekinesis, yes, you would be able to harm them with a sword because they have exposed skin in places.
Wait till I catch that Sasquatch and we're eating those Sasquatch burgers, man. You know what I mean?
I'm ready for some fried Sasquatch, man.
Look, I've seen him, Michael. It's too human, man. No way.
What's a good side for Sasquatch?
No, dude,
man?
I mean,
you think green beans? What do you think, Joe? You're from the South.
It looks no less human than
maybe
you or me.
Boiled red potatoes, man.
Red potatoes, you gotta have biscuits.
Little butter and garlic on there.
Or Sasquatch sliders. I think that's
how about au jus sauce to dip it in?
Hey, we eat bears, so I don't see what the difference is. Sasquatch, bear, Sasquatch.
Because it looks human. Trust me.
We
If you
eat
saw the
monkeys
face,
too.
you would lose it. You wouldn't
Hey,
think so.
if they were to be able to bring back dinosaurs, like using like permafrost stem cells or whatever, would you eat dinosaur steaks?
You can go to Siberia and
mammoth
get
steaks, yeah.
mastodon steaks. I want to go. I would love to try one. Yes.
Would you eat a stegosaurus steak?
Yes.
I think if I've eaten sushi, I could eat anything.
Yes,
the
I
first
think
time
so.
I was in there, I was like, "There's no way I'm eating this." And then all of a sudden, there you find
Hey
yourself.
man, fish bait's not bad.
I
fish
smother it with wasabi and I toss it down. And it's eel. Come on, some eel, and the raw fish, man.
Eel is cooked.
Every parasite in the world is in that raw stuff right there.
Listen to me, Michael. Eel is not raw.
That's how they put it out there. You know what? This dude, let me tell you, man, this dude tried giving me raw chicken. You know how you do the hibachi and they're like ting 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 ting. They're doing their thing, man.
That's not sushi. That's sashimi. That's different.
But I'm talking about hibachi, and this guy is being the hibachi guy, and then he takes a raw piece of chicken and he wants me to open my mouth, which I would never ever do, ever not in my life, not in this life. Open my mouth and so I'm going to toss something into it. That's not written on my thing.
Usually a butterfly.
And then I'm like, this raw chicken. I'm like, and he's laughing. Ho, ho, ho. You know what, salmonella? I'm like, you know what, fist and face? Which is it?
Keep your raw fish to yourself. Keep your raw food to yourself.
Raw chicken,
of course. I wouldn't eat raw chicken, but
what's that?
I eat raw steak.
What's the pate stuff? What is the stuff used that's like really ground up ground beef? It's like a delicacy.
Kibbeh.
What?
Lebanese kibbeh.
It's like
It's called kibbeh. It's raw hamburger. It's rolled up in a ball. Looks like it has nuts in it. And I've tried it. It's not bad. It's about the same as steak tartare.
Yeah, steak tartare.
Steak tartare.
Steak tartare is great. I mean, that's just raw steak.
But she's also right. The other one, it's
Beef
like ground
tartare.
kibbeh.
What about pork
Lebanese
tartare? If you want
it's
that.
pretty weird, but
Well, steak tartare technically it is raw, but technically it's cooked by the acidity of the vegetables.
It's the vinegar. It's brown around the
A
edge.
little
so
wine. It's got a little lime on it, a little tomato on it.
Yeah.
It's
So,
I
Joe,
like it. I eat it
this
all the
snow?
time.
Did you make a snowman?
Is it
I was all
cold?
excited for you, man.
Yeah, it's cold. It's the best roast beef you'll ever have. I
It's
promise you.
ridiculous with
It's the
this
best
snow.
roast
I was
beef
cursing
you'll
every
ever
Yankee on the
have.
planet,
It's
man.
not been roasted.
So take him.
I,
Come get
I like meat, right?
I
and
was calling my Yankee friends, come get your fucking snow.
I do enjoy.
It's icy snow, isn't it? It's very wet. And
No,
icy.
no, it's real soft
They
and
lift
fluffy
it.
and
Oh, is it?
yeah, it's all fluffy and soft. It's like little downy snow out there. It's softy
Just
snow.
wait till tomorrow when the sun hits it.
Oh, it's already started melting today. It started
Go down
melting
there.
It's gonna be, but by tomorrow it'll all be gone. It'll be by noon
it's gonna
tomorrow.
turn into a wet, heavy mess.
No, I did that today. Started doing that
Oh,
today.
did it? Okay.
When's the last time it snowed in Louisiana?
And New Orleans, it snows in Louisiana a lot, but just northern Louisiana. See, people forget all the states in the South do get snow. They just don't get it down south. They get it in the northern part of the state.
Not on the Gulf.
Yeah, usually from the middle of the state up gets regular snow. It's just down here we don't. And the last time New Orleans,
The only
New
state
Orleans,
that normally gets snow is Florida.
yeah, New Orleans. I think the last time was like 14 years. Last time it had a heavy snow was 1895.
Houston, Texas got, what did they get, 10, 13 inches? They hadn't had snow in Houston, Texas since 1895.
No, let me get this right. Sodom and Gomorrah, Hollywood. Sodom and Gomorrah, Hollywood is burning down. Trump sworn in. Hell is frozen over down in Florida. Helltown. Frozen over, man. I mean, it's just very strange. I don't know. I don't believe in coincidences, me personally. I think everything is kind of intended in some energy fashion. It's just really weird that all this is happening. But, whatever, man. Whatever. I'm sitting back watching the show. I'm happy to eat, my popcorn and check out the show.
See where it all goes. I mean, Trump looks like he's on a rampage. So we just let him go.
How many executive orders did he sign?
I lost count at 100. Somebody told me he was at 200 now. I don't know.
190 or something.
This is pent up. It's all pent up from his 4 years of sitting there, all pissed off. I bet he made notes the whole time. Man, he
said he did. No, he said he did. He said he was going to have his shit together. It wasn't going to be like the first time.
the alarms and timers that are ringing on your smart home devices.
Hey,
He
Google fired.
disassembled DEI. He told those people to stay home. Your home would pay until they get fired. I love that, man. You know what? It's common sense. We need to restore common sense in this country. The Democrats went wild.
No more. He said
now
no
we know
more.
what they're capable of, aren't we? We're no. And as for the illegal aliens and all that, come on, man. It should never happen.
He said no more getting a job based on your color, your sex, or anything else. All jobs will be based on merit, which is the way they should be. Because then you get the best employee and not some crap hole, shithole.
You know what, man? I was friends with an old black guy when I was a kid. Ancient Negro wisdom, man. I loved everything he said. And he said, Michael, there's two types of racism. Doing something for someone because of their color and not doing something for someone because of their color. So, and I get that there's those DEI people out there are labeling people and giving them this and giving them that and whatever. And they're creating special groups within groups. And all they do is divide. It's all divide. But now they're gone. They're gone. They're gone. You see, major corporations are getting rid of their DEI. People are starting to fight back, man. So I think there's a revolution. It's kind of an exciting time because whatever happens is gonna happen. You gotta appreciate that.
It's what is there another? Michelle just sent me something. There's another fire in California.
Another fire did start up.
I think down in San Diego.
It went from 2,000 acres this afternoon to 9,000 acres a couple minutes ago. So it's just,
it's not like San Diego's like right around the corner from LA. San Diego's like 2 hours away, an hour away. I know I've driven it a couple of times. So.
No, this is
3
LA
hours
County.
from LA.
This is LA County where the fire is, right?
Jesus. Yeah.
They don't I was just watching the firemen and listening to their scanner. They don't know what the hell they're gonna do. They don't know what the hell they're doing.
There's no more water. I mean, they live next to an ocean, so I mean that shouldn't be an issue.
Wait. Okay, there's a couple things real quick. So now we found that there's a lot of water. Just California sending it to the ocean because of the fish. Oh yeah, I thought this was bullshit. The first time I heard this was 2 weeks ago. Well, not 2 weeks, about 7 or 8 days ago. I heard this. I'm like, no way. They're not going to let LA burn down because they want to save some fish. They should just turn the valve and let it come this way. Trump was talking about it last night. Sure the fuck. They're diverting the water. All kind of water.
Millions of gallons that Nestle's uses for their water that they don't even pay for. They don't pay a dime. It's tap water, filtered tap water. And then that's California. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care what they take from people, man.
Yeah, but they got plenty of water. They just were using it to save the fish instead of doing it. And
you know what?
And the girl's fully functionally aware of it.
There's people evacuating right now. They're losing their minds. They don't know what the hell they're going to do. And they're saying this could go nuclear in the next 24 hours. That's what they're looking at. Hopefully after Thursday, those winds will die down. But they're at the behest of the wind. You know what I mean? But it's weird. The whole thing is weird, man. I'm just going to throw that out.
I still don't understand. Go ahead, Leah.
I guess it's not San Diego. It's north of LA near, they've closed down all 4 lanes of the Grapevine, which is the highway going into or out of LA from the north.
It's Los Angeles County. So still, you got the same resources.
Well, somebody was saying it was a lot of vegetable farming out there. So
they've got about a dozen helicopters running, and then maybe half a dozen airplanes. But it's like pissing on a house fire. They need more technology to put out fires than what they've got. That's really what it is.
So what California needs to do. And I know they don't want to do it because they don't like using salt water.
They need all the new leadership. That's what they need.
They do, but they need to install 12-inch pumps.
I don't care. Dip your damn pumper into the ocean and spray some ocean water on my damn
I think it's worse than that now.
Yeah.
I think it should be.
I mean, that's just stupid.
Every quarter to half mile, there should be a 12-inch pump already set, ready to go. All you got to do is crank it up, hook it up to your hoses.
Water, I mean,
they would have saved half these homes if they would have had that going on. Yes.
Oh,
wait. So you know why California said they don't want to use salt water, right? It's going to contaminate. It's going to rust stuff, and it's going to contaminate the ground.
Oh, shut up, you sissy babies! I don't care. My shit is on fire. Use actual, horse shit to put it out if you have to. I don't care.
I'm sorry, dude.
As much of my stuff as you can with what you can.
I want to see
water, poop. I don't care.
I want to see them scoop up a bucket of sharks and dump them on Ben Affleck's house, man. Is that evil? Is that really evil?
Yeah.
Because I'm an Entropy fan. I want to be watching
all that movie, Michael Shark Fire Department.
I want to see Ben Affleck running out of there because there's sharks in his freaking house.
How many people have signed Mrs. Bass's "Get the fuck out of"? How many?
And by the way,
other day was 90,000.
Mrs. Butterworth is back. You know
Yes,
what I mean?
seen that.
They need to put the
Yes,
Indian back
I'm
on
happy.
land of the lakes, man. They pulled the white man. They got rid of the Indian and they kept the land. They need to put the Indian back on the land. That's right.
Do you think Trump will bring Aunt Jemima back?
Aunt Jemima.
It's called.
Look at Lee. It's like, let me run now. Let me run
I
now.
swear to God, they took this poor black woman who invented this easy formula that we all eat as pancakes today.
I don't eat that crap.
2,000 years ago, wherever long.
I eat real maple syrup, brother.
Yeah, I don't understand. There's all these breakfast diners around here, and they don't use real maple syrup. They use the corn syrup that tastes like, I mean, it's
Crap.
very lacking in flavor. It doesn't even taste flavorful.
It's bad for your health. It's terrible.
That corn
Maple
syrup's
syrup
That's
nasty.
used. I can't find anywhere that has real maple syrup.
Because it's so damn expensive. I just have to
Well,
take a
then
loan to
don't-
get a bottle of maple
then
syrup.
don't
You know?
serve pancakes. Don't serve pancakes if you're not going to serve it right.
See, I
No,
eat
we can
pancakes
get
at night.
maple syrup.
I eat
We get
breakfast
maple
food
syrup
at
and
night.
cane syrup.
Since my schedule is so screwed up, I eat breakfast food at night. It's easier. It's more fun, I think.
Yeah,
And then the
I
heavy
used to
stuff
do that
every
too when
day.
I was working nights. I
Wake
used to
up,
like
eat a
it, but
steak, pancakes at night. That's right.
They
I just now restarted the carnivore diet.
Oh no, no diet. You know what my mom told me a long time ago? Never date a woman on a diet because they're always angry.
we're going to talk about something serious here for a minute because somebody had brought this up with me.
That
earlier
is
today.
serious. Come on, man.
This is serious.
Okay.
This is half-ass
You
serious.
gotta
Hey,
eat.
Joe, I got something. I got something
Put
here.
your
Let me
food bag on. I
pull
like
up
people
some
that eat.
screens here. This
Go out
this
and eat,
is
have a good meal.
12 businesses that changed their names over time. And the first one is the one I was looking for, Aunt Jemima.
Best Buy is now Worst Buy, right?
Yeah.
Or
They've
don't.
always been worse by.
Don't buy today.
Target
Don't
is
buy.
now Don't Shoot Me.
Here we go.
Have you seen Target? Target's Don't Shoot Me.
Are we seeing that on the screen there yet? Where is it?
It's scary what's going on. People don't even shop anymore. They get beaten up.
There
They get
it is.
attacked. People get
Right.
pushed in front of subways and subway cars, whatever, man. You want to go out.
Check this out. Right? 12 companies that changed their name. Aunt Jemima became Pearl Milling Company.
Yep.
And the
Isn't that
reason
terrible?
was that they thought it was the company changed it because they didn't want to be known as like ethnic or racist or something. There's nothing ethnic or racist about that woman. That was her real name, and she started that stuff 200 some odd years ago. Anyway, terrible.
It was her creation.
How about this?
Oh
Look at
my
those pants
gosh.
on the right. Hey, look at those pants.
Okay, what is this coon shit? What is this, though? I mean,
Natural Tasty Cheese, a craft trademark, has been changed to Cheer Mini Tasty Cheese.
You see, they had Progresso came out with Progresso
I can see you changing that one.
candy that
That's
tastes
a
like
good, that's a
Progresso
good
soup.
one.
Is that the most
Dixie
disgusting
beer
thing you ever heard?
was once Faubourg beer.
Actually, no, it's going back to Futtenbacher. The Saints owner owns it. She bought it, and they changed it from Dixie to Futtenbacher.
So it's fucking Bacher, actually.
Some shit like that. Dixie was nasty when it was Dixie. Don't get me wrong; it's an old beer and all, but it'll give you a freaking migraine
There was
when you
this
drink
Japanese
it.
restaurant called Fuck You Dad, and we had to say it every time we go by. Hey, fuck you, Dad.
What's this Eddie's pie shit, man? Oh, it went from Eskimo pie to Eddie's pie.
Eskimo
You
pie.
never
So
heard
the
of
only
Edie's
word-
ice
Oh,
cream?
that's bullshit.
It's
Eskimo
a
pie.
Pennsylvania favorite, man.
Isn't Edie's just the same thing as like Breyers?
No,
No, it's not
Edie's
even the
is
same. It's a vanilla ice cream with chocolate coating. Eskimo pies are where they were
No.
fudge.
Breyers actually reclassified. They're no longer ice cream. It's called frozen dessert. And it's very
What?
interesting that- yep, that's what
Yeah,
they
because
put on
there's
there.
very little cream in it.
Yep, there's nothing really ice
such a
cream
big
about it.
Change.
Wasn't there a Dryers too? Like Breyers and a Dryers?
Yes, there was a drink.
Yeah, that's
Still
both
is.
of
I
them,
think
yeah.
Dryers and Edie's is the same company. It's the
Okay,
same
that's what I'm
same
saying.
labeling, same
And
packaging.
Dash.
Yeah.
Dash and Dash. Wait, what? What
You guys
changed
have
there?
Dash.
ice cream?
Became
Come on.
Dash. That's
can't
just
go wrong with Mrs.
kind
Dad.
of stupid.
Okay, that was kind of
She's
stupid.
quick.
Here's Mr. Pibb to Pibb Extra.
Yeah.
That is stupid.
I don't do it, man.
Okay, Mr. Pibb was stupid in the first place. Dr. Pepper's the way to go if you're gonna drink that shit.
Mr. Pibb, I think, is the
Crunch
English
became
version.
just Crunch and Bunch of Crunch.
I saw a Crunch commercial one time. It was the dumbest commercial. I had a black guy.
Some of
and a
these
white
things are
woman.
retarded.
Well, listen to this. I had a black guy, a white woman with a mulatto kid in the middle. And then the white woman does all the talking. The black guy just nods his head and smiles. And then they showed like the white coming with black together and then the Crunch. And then the kid goes, and I'm the Crunch. It was like the most racist, crazy thing I've ever seen. And they were trying to make it like it's not racist, but by their blatancy of what they're doing, it was disgusting. It was horrible. And who the hell's going to buy a candy bar on that basis?
Nobody. I mean, and I thought, look at this.
Have you ever just eaten the powder straight out of the,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
tin?
It's weird. Sunny
kinda
Delight,
got-
Sunny D. Yeah.
I snorted it, but I haven't.
Yeah.
Oh,
that
Oh,
chocolate.
I know. I know somebody that has a story about that. It involves mealworms.
That's Stoltz
Oh.
Stoltz is gone, right? Didn't he go out of business?
Stoli, no.
Uncle Ben's.
Yeah, they
Ben's
did.
original and Uncle
Stoltz
Ben's.
is gone.
Uncle Ben's become Ben's original ready rice, garden veggies.
Damn, I want the dude back under. See, they just hating on black people when they do this
It's
shit.
poison.
Yeah.
That stuff right there.
They're getting
There
rid
was
of
sodiums in it.
their ethnic background. It's ridiculous.
I know, man.
It's kind of like DEI in reverse, isn't it?
Hey,
I mean,
Find out if there's any other racial ethnic brands out there that still have their like sombrero hot sauce or
they probably do.
Afro Sheen.
Probably the ones that don't come from our country, but they probably do.
Afro Sheen is
there's
very
one that you can
exclusionary.
get that's literally, and the reason why you can still get it is because the only person it offends racially are white people. In the name of the sauce,
Damn, white people stop being offended. Oh,
I
wait, sorry.
don't care less because it's the best sauce on the planet. But the
I
name
got
of the
confused.
brand name of the sauce is Green Mountain Gringo.
So,
And it is the best salsa out there. If you get the hot stuff, and if you can make it past chip number 10, you're a champion because that shit is hot.
Like, why is Cholula still allowed to have like a lady on it that's clearly, of
it's not an American product.
Yeah, they don't
But-
care.
We can't tell other countries to be woke. We
Well,
only tell our own country to be woke.
This is
American.
nonsense.
Oh, is you sure it's not made from a different country? It's just shipped to America?
Look at the Washington Red.
No, I'm pretty sure it's like the most American hot sauce.
I think they're from India.
Look at the
No, man, that's the most American hot sauce is tobaccos.
The same thing happened with the
I do
Washington
The
Red.
largest selling, best known.
If I don't make it myself, I buy Melinda's. Best company, man. Best stuff.
They dedicated a whole island to making hot sauce. That shit still cracks me up when you go to when you leave, your eyes are all tearing and watering and stuff. There's so much shit in the air.
That's the way to go.
So here, I got some serious questions now. So we only got like 10 minutes. So, do you have to graduate high school or college to be a billionaire?
No.
No.
So the richest man in the world, did he graduate college?
I think the richest man in the world has a GED.
He made it to college for 2 days and he quit and opened his first business. That's Elon Musk, ladies and gentlemen, by the way.
Yeah, but did he finish high school or does he
He
have a
dropped
GED?
that guy. No, he finished high school. He got into college. He was into college. He went to
But did he graduate or did he get his GED?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can get into college if you have a GED. You don't have to graduate high school.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. He was in South Africa, so it's probably different there than it is here. It probably works different there.
Didn't he come from a very affluent family who's like
comfortable family? Yeah.
Yeah,
not filthy rich, but comfortable.
Emerald farms and stuff.
Yeah, they were comfortable. His dad. Everybody always thought his dad owned a bunch of mines, but his dad worked for a bunch of mines. He didn't own them. It's so it got a little confusing.
You say
in there.
mines or mines?
Mines, big. I think they're emerald mines.
I
Actually,
thought like those people in the city that are miming.
it's same thing. It's the same damn thing. So Mark Zuckerberg, did he graduate college?
Yeah,
he dropped out. He's a dropout. He dropped out.
Loser.
So the guy who owns the largest and richest company for media in the world didn't even make it fucking through 8th grade. He's worth $70 billion. Yeah. So on the top 20 list, 7 of the people who are billionaires didn't make it out of high school. 10 of them didn't make it through college. Only 3 of them actually got a degree.
So what you saying?
And they're at the bottom of the fucking list, no less.
You say
I mean,
college
come on.
suckers?
Basically,
Couple
what you're saying, Joe,
$100,000
is
for nothing?
if I had forced my parents to let me quit high school 30, 40, 50 years ago, I'd be a millionaire.
It all feels so
maybe so.
discouraging. Like, what's the point? Like,
why bother going through all that hassle if you could, like what these guys have done?
it feels like a scam. It feels like
Well,
everything.
in some ways, it is a scam. So now we know for sure college is not for everybody.
Of course.
Okay, we know that. So we know there's also other forms of educations in our country, from doing an apprenticeship to going to one of the whatchamacallit schools. What do you call them when you learn how to work on cars and computers? And
Trade school. Okay.
So, and a lot of people do better by going to trade schools, get a solid trade, get into the field, and work their way through it.
Well, they go in the military, learn a trade. I mean,
Yeah, and then they come out and they take that knowledge and they put it into making money.
And you get
and
VA
that's what
benefits.
these guys did.
You join the military, you come out, you get VA benefits for the rest of your life.
Do you know how many
which can
guys
really come in handy.
Do you know how many guys were ex-Navy that when they got
you
out of
feel
the
like
Navy,
Fallout.
what did they do? They became a firefighter.
Family too. Your family gets VA benefits from any spouse, whatever kid.
It's interesting to where all of this went. But when I was reading about it today, I already knew a bunch of them didn't graduate high school or graduate college, but I was surprised at how wealthy the really wealthy ones didn't get through college. A lot of them didn't even get through their first year.
But these are the inventors of our time. You know, like they just use the internet, you know, for the most part for their invention. You know what I mean? What draws people.
Well, Elon said if he'd stopped to go to college, it would have set him back a decade because he wouldn't have got into PayPal, which led him into some other stuff, which led him into Tesla.
No, I didn't know he would. You see him stuttering at Trump's thing. He's like, is he really a stutterer or was he just nervous?
He's nervous, Nanny.
I was like, you stuttering.
No,
Then he does that Hitler salute. The Hitler salute.
I'm telling y'all, the one we got to worry about now. I don't think we have to worry about Elon anymore. I know who we got to worry about now. We got to worry about X, that little bastard. He's going to be X, his son X. Wait a minute. You're going to love this. Do you know how much his son's worth? His little son, the one this big, that's X. The kid we call X. How much y'all think he's worth?
$7
$40 billion.
Jeez.
$40 billion.
What has he done? What has he done for humanity? Why is he worth so much?
X, buddy, because he's X. Don't fuck with X. He'll kick your ass.
Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy?
His daddy's worth $420 billion.
And then here you have this little stupid kid worth $40 billion. You know what I mean? Like that. Life is just so.
It is fucked up. That's fucked up. I ain't gonna lie.
Not worth more than my kids.
So
life is just so unfair, unbelievably unfair that people get shafted. The ones who work the hardest get shafted. I know that. A great man once told me, work little, not work hard. Like make as much as you can and work as little as possible. That's what he said.
It's called work smart, not hard.
And that was Joe Biden.
Delegate. Work smart, not hard. Man.
Joe Biden, he looked like he wanted to sniff Carrie Underwood so bad. He could taste it, man. He was even making a face like this. No more sniffing.
Oh, he got in trouble 2 days before he was leaving because he grabbed some kid by the face and kissed her in the face. Kissed her on the lips. I'm sorry, grabbed her like this. He grabbed her like this and went. I could just see the kid's face going, no.
You think he has little memories of that
child? Like, oh yeah, I think he does it, pervert bastard.
When he sniffed the Pope, like from the time that.
So I was listening to a lawyer this morning or yesterday, actually, talking about all these fucking pardons that Joe Biden did. Yeah. He said most of them you're not going to be able to touch. He said, but the preemptive ones, maybe it'll be touched. He said because if there's something here that's done that we consider treason, you can't pardon treason. There is no pardon for treason. You can't do it. So if they consider him to have committed treason, like Liz Cheney, there is no saving her ass. And Fauci. So they consider what he did as treason. So working with another country to create a virus to do harm. So
grasshopper. But
so he might not get it. He might never get out.
Only federal. So
it's only federal too.
Just pardon Fauci. All of Fauci's immediate family members for the same exact thing.
If some red state comes along and says, "Hey, Fauci, we're going to go after you because of the lies that you betrayed and people thought," and then
it's going to get nasty before
they find him guilty. They can incarcerate him, man. You know, and that federal pardon means nothing at that rate.
So before I know we got to get out of here.
Falling apart already. Like everything that could be, what's
No,
left.
see, I feel the opposite. I feel like it's coming together and it's going to be badass. That's
Who
how I
doesn't
feel.
want to get out of jail free card though? Really,
I'm watching. I am watching Trump. Trump has done more in his first 2 days than he did his first year of his last election, which is 3 times much more than Biden's did in his entire
impressed,
4
man.
years.
You know what I was really impressed about?
He's not fucking around
the whole day. Everything he did, all those stairs, everything.
I know you seen that. This
guy's
guy's 78 years old.
Yeah, man.
Drug costs. What was the
all
point of him?
Balls, all
Wait,
those balls, he's dancing and doing his thing.
What was the point of him increasing the prescription drug costs so much?
To make money.
To where? I don't pay for prescription drug prices. What are you talking about?
But people on insulin do. There's people that
I haven't seen it. Well, you have to show me that. I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything about that.
That was one of his first executive orders. Was
no, I watched his first 109, so there wasn't none of them.
There was nothing about.
I watched about 100 of those.
You have to show us.
I did look at try to find a number of how many things he signed on Monday. I couldn't get a solid number, but I did get a number of how many executive orders he rescinded from Joe Biden. That number is 78. So it's at least 78 things he signed that rescinded.
Because remember, Trump's the guy who went after that little prick who wanted to take insulin from $38 up to what was it, 9,000 or something, 7,000. Yeah, Trump went after his ass. So I will put you in fucking jail. Trump's usually not big on getting prescription medicine up. So if he did, there's got to be a reason.
He's all with the rich people. He's actually not. And I think that getting shot, it's changed him. He doesn't even talk like
he was changing. He was changing before.
The BS talk, I mean, he starts to a little bit.
I noticed about 3 months ago before he got shot, he was already harder to get baited. He wasn't as easily to bait as he used to be. And I noticed the other day, so he's doing so, and the reporters love this. So he's in there in his office signing things. And he said, "What's the matter? Y'all actually got somebody to talk to, right?" And they're all looking at him like, "Yeah," because he's talking while he's signing. He's talking with all the press. The president Biden never did anything like that.
No, Biden
and then what's his face? With CNN guy, was it Acosta? Goes, "Did you get a letter?" He said, "What letter?" He said he opens the Trump. He said, "Oh, this letter." He said, "Yeah, look, he left me a letter." Talking about how the presidents leave each other a letter. He said, "Look what I got." And Acosta's like, "Well, can we read it together?" Trump just like, "Yeah, sure, we're gonna read this fucking together. We're gonna read it out for the whole country to hear." No, we're not. But
Biden and his cognitive decline, his mental condition, and all that's going to be one of the biggest frauds on the American public when they reflect in the future. And they really
that's the other thing. He couldn't pardon himself.
He was not the president. He wasn't an individual. Yeah. He was barely even conscious he was there. And
I think that's the problem. There was too many hands in the cookie jar.
Yeah.
If there would have been one person running the country, it might have been one thing. But from what I was seeing, it looked like sometimes Jill had something to say. Obama never did. For some reason, they just didn't like that bastard. But
I'm so happy. I don't even like Trump, but I'm happy he's in there, man.
Yeah. And what was them two guys? Jay and I seen him on one of the shows. Man, what was that guy's name? There was two guys they were talking about who was doing, who they're pretty sure was running everything or running a lot of everything. Thank you, Heidi. How you doing, sweetie? It's I think they were running. They thought they were running a lot of it. So I don't know exactly who was running it, but I know Joe Biden was running only 1/10 of the time when he was awake enough to say, "What the fuck is going on? That's my damn president, asshole." And then, of course, he went back into his cognitive sleep, and he wasn't president again.
I don't think he knew anything what was going on the whole time. I mean, maybe early on a little bit, but just in the last year, no way, nothing. I mean, I think that he was in the closet the whole time. They just did everything. They signed everything for him and told him what to sign, and he did it. These aren't his ideas. Those pardons weren't.
Well, no, ideas. I knew he had some cognizance, and he proved that when he selected Kamala Harris. He did that.
But then he went after, and then pardoning his family. Man, what a crappy move. You know what I mean? Even though Trump,
he was going to do that anyway. Trump was already saying he was going to go after his family.
But the same question goes, and Joe, you brought the point up a moment ago. What are all the Trump haters who are? They swear to God he's going to try to take over the world and become, global dictator. What does it prove to those people that he's not going to pardon himself because it'll make him look more guilty than he already is?
So there's going to be a couple of things that go down with Trump over the next few months. like those 34 charges, they're going to go away eventually. Either the appellate court's going to throw him out or the Supreme Court's going to throw him out, but they're not going to be part of his life. That's why.
Yeah, but still,
but that's why I keep warning the Democrats
there right now.
But that's why I keep warning the Democrats, stop using them, because when they get tossed, it's going to come after you.
The people who charge them are being charged with crimes. Look at Adams, New York City Mayor Adams, his whole administration, man. They're all being arrested. And that one woman's like, that's good. I'm going to jail. I took care of those people. They'll take care of me.
Pam Bondi said,
man, that's the mentality out there. That's the mentality. And then you put the wrong people in that job. That's what's going to happen. Corruption.
Well, Pam Bondi said more than likely she's going to investigate Jack Smith. And it looks like because of Jack Smith was talking, he was talking to Fannie Willis, and he was talking, I can't remember his name, in Briggs in New York, the prosecutor up there. It seems like they were all three talking. And then they found out that at least two of them had talked to the attorney general. And we know the attorney general was talking to Biden. So there's some stuff going on there. And I noticed Biden didn't give any of them a pardon. Not the attorney general, not Jack Smith, not anybody who went after Trump. He did not give a pardon.
He
did this. This is what he did. He said, take it, baby. That's what he did.
They weaponized the justice system. They did exactly what they weren't supposed
to. I think he decided to give Trump an out and let him have some fun with some people because it looks rough.
But they're rounding up illegal aliens and they're going to eject them. They've already got hundreds that they rounded up. But
they've already told governors and mayors that they will go to jail if they get in the way.
710,000 is on the list. Of these that are criminals.
Well, the list I seen today
commit crimes.
The list I seen today had 2.35 million on it. Those were people that had been arrested in the United States, people that had been arrested in their own countries, people that had committed crimes that had not been to trial. All of them were being tossed out.
They're leaving, dude. They're leaving the cities, man. They're scattering.
Yeah, they're scattering.
They're taking.
Well, you know why they are? It's because he signed that bill saying they could go after them in schools again, in parks and stuff. So they don't have any places to go hide out in sanctuary cities anymore. It's not helping them. The school's not going to keep them from getting arrested. Hanging out at the park's not going to keep them from getting arrested now. So they're going after him. And he told them, whatever the guy's name is, that one Colorado mayor yesterday was going on and on and on. And then the guy said something. And they asked the new guy about it. He said, oh, no, he'll go to jail. He said, if he interferes with us arresting anybody, he's going to jail. So then the guy came back on TV and said, well, no. I won't interfere. ICE can arrest anybody they want, anyhow they want to. If we've got them in detention, we'll get them for them. If not, they can go arrest them. But we're not going to give them our people to go out and arrest people. And he said, we don't need your people.
What if the governors and or mayors use their police and other armed forces to intervene?
Well, first off, the police department said they won't do it.
Good,
because they will go to prison. They will go, and if they do,
ain't no sheriff
lose their ability to be a
policeman. That would back that.
You can no longer be a cop.
Maybe state police.
He will arrest him. And if he has to bring in and this is what cracked me up. He said, "Well, we're putting 1,500 troops on the border, so we always have access to them." He said the Texas Rangers have already volunteered to give us 2/3 of their people. You don't want the Rangers on your ass. The Rangers is just natural dickheads. Just don't. You don't want them on your ass.
I want some redneck hillbillies going after them.
Oh, they're gonna have those too.
I want some kind of comedy in there, dude. I want to see trappers. I want to see people
that shoot and draw.
The NASCAR people, the guys with big trucks, big tires. I want to see them going there, rounding people.
You want to see the people who arrive with the boats behind
it. It just completes my whole the movie Idiocracy, and it just kind of completes everything for me. I need to be fulfilled.
I'm glad we got Leah back in the fold. Go ahead, Jay.
So they're taking 38,000 ICE agents off the desk that were on desk jobs all these years doing nothing, and they're sending them out there to round up these criminals.
I worked with crackheads. I knew it. I knew I worked with crackheads.
So going back to the Army Rangers. Army Rangers are some badass dudes. I worked with a dude who had come out of the Fort Stewart Rangers in Fort Stewart, Georgia. I won't give you his name because I respect the man's privacy, but one of the coolest dudes I ever met in my life. Another guy I worked at that same place was a Marine Force Recon. Anyway, so the young man who was the Black Beret, the Army Ranger, the stories he told me, what he went through during his Ranger school they would turn your head. You wouldn't believe that there are these things.
I hear they make them eat cold SpaghettiOs.
No. Listen, I'm not done telling them. One of the things they did is they
treat you like that.
They carried 3 weapons. They carried the
My tax
M9
dollars pay for
Beretta,
that,
they
yeah.
carried the M16, and they carried the M249 SAW weapon. So what they did was they blindfolded my friend. They put his 3 guns, disassembled all the parts into a duffel bag and shook it up, put it into a locker, stuffed him into the locker, closed the locker and put a lock on it, and then dumped it upside down 3 flights of stairs. So he went into a locker, boom, 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 down to the bottom floor of his dormitory. And then they said, go. And he had like 2 minutes to put all 3 of those weapons back together working, or he couldn't, they wouldn't let him out. And that was part of their training.
He's still there.
On forward, you had to do that thing
And he's still there.
Anyway,
There's some skeletons. Nobody fed him or gave him water.
coming up behind you with the intent to kill you because you
You
won't
open that
survive.
box. You open
will
that
not
box
survive.
and
These people
boom.
are bad ass. You will not
Raymond,
survive.
Raymond, one day I will have a phone again.
They still have to obey the law. So
Yeah, what's going on with your phone?
You fuckers hacked my phone and they won't fix it. And well, they didn't hack it. Somebody else. When T-Mobile was transferring my phone to AT&T, it got hacked. Somebody just hacked it. Now they can't seem to recover it, so they gave me this other crappy phone that Linda's got that's not doing me any good.
Sued.
So it's just a load of crap, is what. And I can't give that number because I've had that number for shit almost as long as you've been alive, girl.
Class action lawsuits, man.
I have had like 50 phone numbers.
It's I that phone number is 35, 36 years old, so I hate to get rid of it because too many people have it. Not just work people from ICAR, people
Does
who
anyone
have talked
remember the
to,
very first telephone
contacts.
number they ever had?
Yeah, I actually do, babe.
I do.
I just use my CB radio, man. That's the same channel 19.
Is
I
that
actually
where I
remember
went?
my first girlfriend's phone number too.
Buddy.
Well, when you have the same number, it makes it easier for people to find your ass. That's all.
Yeah.
It's
You don't want to be found.
Yeah,
well, if you don't want to be found, then you get multiple. Then you get multiple
What
phones.
if you want to dance around a lot and have a trail of numbers?
Mississippi's always offering me a phone. You want a phone? You want a phone? You want a phone?
Trail
I mean,
of
I'll give you like
address,
5 minutes.
Just go live in an RV and get a prepaid phone, and people, you're off the grid. Nobody knows where the hell you are.
Well, we got to go because Michelle will be going live in about a minute. So
Yep.
I don't even know who she got on. Y'all be sure to go check out Michelle DeRoche. She's live right now in a few seconds on the Outer Realm. She's following us. Go check her out. Tell me what's going on. Give her hell, y'all. Go in there. Go in the chat. Yeah, go in one of the chat groups and mess with her.
Oh yeah,
Right.
that too. Aren't all the planets aligned like the first time? And
Somewhere, yeah, like 5 of them or 6 of them or something.
Is it the Trump effect too? Please tell me, man. I need to know.
I don't know. We're gonna find out.
There's some weird stuff going on. You have to admit,
Michael
there's
or
some
Leah
weird
onto
stuff.
her show.
Jesse, when we do a full show, maybe Friday, maybe Saturday, I'll get a complete list so you can go beat people up with how many ignorant people have become billionaires. I know it's amazing to me.
Massive earthquake.
What gets me is how many people who didn't make it through high school that are either multi-millionaires or
Although I feel
billionaires.
bad for all the animals.
Are we going to go through another pandemic of sorts?
I fucking hope
happened.
not, because there might be
Flu going around kicking people's butts. Shutting down
there's a bad version of flu. Well, they said northern Mississippi there's a quademic. There's 4 different things running around.
Yeah,
so
they
just
haven't
keep it up there.
classified as a pandemic yet, and the CDC said yet. So
yeah,
it means that they're thinking about it. But it's shutting down emergency rooms.
Always come up to pandemics.
That's got to tell you something.
I mean, the Spanish flu, 1918, killed 50 million people in 2 years.
Yep.
Yeah, well, Trump's firing the guy running the CDC, so we don't have to worry about that. It's going to be
100
somebody
years
else.
later, you had the SARS-CoV-2.
Oh, and he told the World Health Organization to go fuck themselves. We're out of that now. He also told the Climate Accord to go fuck themselves. We're out of
He
that.
actually replaced the
Use
World
my
Health
language, people.
Organization.
It's a little
He
aggravating.
replaced it with the band The Who.
He saved our country.
So they got Pete
billions of
Townsend
dollars.
in there and
He did.
Roger Daltrey there.
So the Climate Accord would cost us $3.2 trillion is what it was going to cost us. 3.2. And wait, you know what the worst part of it is? China don't have to pay it. And right now, if you're breathing air in America, you're breathing in Chinese pollution.
Of course.
It goes up, it floats over the ocean,
And
it
we're
lands on top
paying
of
them
us.
to make that pollution. We buy
Especially you poor bastards in California. Y'all getting just rammed up between Fukushima and
Why is
China.
he being so hard? Why is Trump being so hard on the border, the immigration topic
That's what
when
they-
it comes to the border, but not the H-1B visas?
Because one, he's doing what the people wanted. So he's got a mandate.
I
He
think
said,
I think the point people are missing about that is Joe said 2.3 million arrest warrants were put out of people they're going to kick out of the country. That's the 2.3 million we know about.
yeah,
There
I
could
want to
be
be deported to
3,
Italy.
4, 5, 10 times
To a
that
place that
in
has-
this
there's quite a
country
few countries you can go to.
that are
And,
still criminals that we don't
I
know.
want one of those
It's
kind
a
of like
huge number.
villas. I want a villa.
Well, you know, so that before we go, all right. So there's going to be a big fight over the childbirth thing. So I think Trump needs to rewrite the bill saying that if you know someone has come here pregnant so that they can use him as an anchor baby, then they should not be allowed citizenship. He's not going to be able to get a blanket no citizenship for people having children here.
No, but I think he
Yeah.
can get a specific situation through. Like
One
you
of
said.
the parents should be an American. If neither of the
Well,
parents
no,
are Americans,
it's not even
they
that.
don't get that.
I don't have a problem if you come here and you're a citizen and you have a baby. Yes, your kid can be a citizen. I don't have a problem with that.
Yahoo! You do it the
But,
legal way. Come legal.
But if you come here illegal and you're pregnant, or you get pregnant because you know our system lets you have an anchor baby, then no, you broke the law. You should not be allowed. It sucks. The one it's really going to hurt the most is the child. It's not going to hurt anybody else. It's going to hurt, but you can't, because we can't keep doing that because we're letting people in our country we don't want. Some of these people have had babies of people we've already thrown out the country.
On the border. So this has been going on for 50, 60 years. I don't know how long,
They're gonna have to fix this.
And it's become a very given thing. But now with this deluge of illegal aliens that the Democrats have let in for the last few years, man. I mean, it's it's brought everything out. And I think good policies being written. I think that finally we have an answer on the border, and I think that this is going to continue. I also think people out there, they may forget in 4 years, but the Democrats who really ran this country to the ground.
Well, they're not forgetting anytime soon, my friend. They're not forgetting
on purpose. Yeah, but people shallow.
People are pissed. I don't think people are going to, unless Trump does something just completely ignorant. I think whoever's next, I don't think it's going to be
I don't
JD
think he can
Vance,
do
by
any
the way.
wrong compared to Joe Biden. Come on, man.
Well, he's
happened.
holding.
Look at the
Depending
last
on where
4
you
years.
look. So this is what kills me. So on Fox, he's got a 52% approved rating. On CNN, he's got a 56. On NBC, he's got a 58. I mean, this is he's that's just unheard of for a president coming in to
Or
have that.
one might say unprecedented.
Yeah, you'd have to go back to Kennedy or Reagan or somebody like that to see numbers like these. But anyway, we got to get out of here because I know the Queen is up and running, and I got to see her later on, so I don't want her trying to kill Jay or Michael or somebody. And she likes Leah, so she might kill you other bastards. But
yeah, I like being part of a life force.
it's I can't remember who. I know she told me who was on. I don't know why it's not coming in my head. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we will be talking a little bit more in depth Friday night about these different executive orders that he signed, along with some other stuff that's going on. We're going to get a little bit more in depth of what he actually told Russia, which was kind of interesting. No, the night show was just fucking around. You're lucky I didn't get to the liquor back there. Y'all lucky. It's Michelle would have had to come kick us out of here.
Yeah.
It would have been bad, but
next time.
but Friday we got 3 to 4 hours depending on what we end up taking up. So be sure to come by. We got quite a few things that are going to cross that topic. And what do you mean, Carolyn? You mean no? Jesus Show did fabulous. Maybe in the future we'll do something like it. What do you mean, like on Muslims? What are you trying to get us killed?
Yeah, no, I'm sure we already have enough enemies in that part of the world.
But I mean, we'll talk about it. I mean, maybe we'll just do one on the different religions. You know what? Maybe we'll do the UFO religions versus the other religions. Maybe we'll do that.
Well, I think if we're gonna do the origin of Earth religion, you have to start with the Enuma Elish.
We're gonna have to go way back.
You got to start there.
What about the whole theory that life is just a simulation, or we're living in a hologram?
We can talk about that too. We can also talk about it. It started in a little soup that some animal pissed in and created all of us. So that's it, Jack. Yeah,
we came from some kind of green slime, according to Q in Star Trek.
It's called panspermia, Michael. That's what it's called. Panspermia. No, I'm not talking to this Michael. I'm talking to that Michael. And this one just scares me, man. God, I lost 2 years after that. Anyway, we do have to go, guys, because I want to thank everyone for tuning in to United Public Radio and that chat. Yes, I know. No UFO Undercover will be back next week.
The Michelle show's an open mic, so maybe we should all pop in there and take it over. And Hostile Radio Show take over.
Hey, who's got an open mic? Oh, we go take it over in a heartbeat. Anyway, I want to thank y'all again, United Public. I'm going to thank everyone for listening to United Public Radio in the chat. We're going to be here. This is not its regular day. It's regular day is Saturday, and then we'll be back on Saturday. It was my birthday today. I didn't want to get into too much UFO stuff, anything too serious.
Birthday to you.
So we did this show.
To you.
To stay
Happy birthday,
out of
Joe
trouble.
Montaldo.
Yeah, mine.
Yeah, happy birthday.
To you.
No, I'm 52 and stuff, you know. Anyway, we gotta go. Good night, everybody. See y'all Friday.
Bye.